Hi, I'm Michael Zitzlaff, Chief Winemaker at Crushpad, and welcome to the Winemaker's Minute, the first of hopefully many Winemaker's Minutes that you can see. One of the key things that when we sit down and talk to you about your wine plan, which is really what we'd like to focus on today, is the very first section of that wine plan comes under the wine style section. As winemakers, when we sit down, explain and go through you with the wine plan and the operations and the various parts of it, what we're trying to do to find out in wine style is to actually work out what is in your head and what style of wine do you really want to make. Things like style, structure, length, palate weight, the depth of fruit and the depth of flavour for both white wines and red wines, and also particularly with reds, Cabernets and Zinfandels, the amount of tannin that you have in that wine that ultimately provides you with palate length and extract. Some of the general style sections that we cover, and we will go through you in quite detail, is the overall style of your wine feminine and elegant? Maybe I shouldn't call it feminine. What the heck. Let's call it elegant, soft, but quite aromatic. Or is it more masculine and bold, a little bit more like Popeye after he eats spinach? Or do you really want to make a wine that's got lots of blocky tannin, chunky, chewy, something that'll really give you a headache in the morning? That is a style. You have two extremes of style, soft and elegant or full-bodied and blocky. That is what we will discuss with you, or through CrushNet, you can actually set the slider yourself. Looking at other things, the approachability. Do you want the wine to be drunk young, or do you want it to be drunk 15, 20 years at your daughter or your son's 21st birthday party? They're the things you've got to think about. Do you want the wine to be consumed with food or by itself? That also affects the tannin and the palate weight, the acidity particularly of the wine. Some of the attributes, the key attributes that we focus on are oak, whether you want very little oak support of the wine so that the wine is very fruit driven, or do you want a wine that's really firm and full-bodied and a lot of oak in the back, which gives you a much longer palate. That's a really important decision, and you really need to think about that when you're going through your wine style section. The colour. Is colour important to you? Do you want it to be very deep and dark, dense, black, inky, or is colour secondary importance to you? As long as it's red, so long as it's got some depth and some hue to it that shows that it's young, then you'll be satisfied. These are the things. Aromatics. Do you want it to be explosive? Does it have to jump out of the glass at you and just absolutely assault your olfactory senses? Or do you want it to be soft and restrained, maybe balanced with a little bit of oak so that it creates a wine that's a little bit more complex, but doesn't have to be that aromatic. It's not that important to you. The other option is the flavour, the ripeness, whether a little bit of green tannin is not such a problem, particularly with some of the Syrahs that we make with whole clusters, and we'll get to the particular details about that later. Or you're looking for a very soft, supple tannin, or a tannin that is really full and rich and mouth-drying. One that absolutely puckers your mouth and, as I said, gives you a very bad headache in the morning. So all these individual facets come together to give you the flavours and the styles of the wine you're trying to make. You can consider some of the individual components as we go through these next few Winemakers Minutes. Hopefully we'll be able to draw that picture of exactly what is the wine that you, the client, want to make.